Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming for this course, which is research methodology, where we say that always data analysis is part of research comprehension question. We are actually seeing the middle of the research, whether it is our object, the proper way of setting up the research question, and or what we visualize in the conclusion. So actually a question research and the ideas that the research going to give us at the end of the day. So this is in the middle of the research, and it will calibrate the research. So what is the hypothesis to again see whether that research question, and they are very related. And when we do data analysis also, we see the study set and what data we need to collect, and this explains why, for example, certain authors and then go back and do more data collection. And sometime during the data analysis, the outcome that we are going to use to bring a new contribution to the our study from the other studies in the body of knowledge. The other thing is that it will help us to to support the hypothesis in different ways, and suppose findings, okay, relevant to what we thought the findings will be, and what in the field. Again, data analysis will help us also to think about a future study to be written. So when we do data analysis, all of these things we need to take it into consideration. For that, we say that the study that giving in the community is an example, because in this study, we flipped upside down the model of giving. Instead of help NGOs supposed to bring the poor out of their poverty, consider it in this stage as an emergency issue. A difference at the end of the day, because we set up based on that, we're going to collect how long, instead of how many families they are only helping, how long these families they've been helped. We're saying that poverty is supposed to be an emergency status, not a permanent state. Will help to emphasize the goal of the research. Of course, we can go on and on, but go into details of what is data analysis. So processing, we are actually involving a lot of things. The data collect, whether the research objectives are done properly or not. So, for example, we are in here we can draw data to detect errors and omissions, or to correct these when for that, so that we can categorize the data, because we do code. And here we mean that we need to have a process that translates information gathered from a questionnaire, is that we assign a value to the information given, and we label it so that we can make data more consistent. Means, for example, male or female. This is example, and if they are male or female, then it be avoided or inconsistent. For example, we can see that their education is different. The data by, for example, 0 did not graduate, and 1 graduate, from college or post high school, and so on, or they are college graduates. We classify the data. We arrange the data in a group of classes, and on the basis of now we are studying or we are discovering. So classification occurs. Here we can get the common characteristics of the things we're going to emphasize. We need to know descriptive, for example, the literacy rate, or the male or male, the religion, their rural or urban people, and so on, and their height, their income, and so on. So this is an example of, for example, if we are going to measure hotel living MBA degree, masters, and here we can see, for example, is that we codify them. Now the classification according to the class. It means that we have the tariff, we have the production, we have the occupancy. Such a quantitative, and are classified on the basis of their intervals. For example, if we are saying about the salary of these in Algerian dinars, so their salaries varies, and higher salaries. And then we see that based on that, we see who are getting low salaries compared, again, of how we codify the data. Then we tabulate the data, because once we tabulate the data, as we've seen, it will help us to again start to do arrangement of a better explanation and description. At the same time, we and detect the errors and the omissions, and of course we can do various statistics. Is very important, because it will help us to again the different variables and so on. For that we use SPSS. So you'll see here a lot is very well known for again data analysis stage. Now here after we analyze the data, we supposed to position and test the hypothesis. What is contrary to our hypothesis? What is with our hypothesis? And whether our hypothesis to generalize and do the proper interpretation of what is the data we need to run again, study for it, or do a questionnaire or something. So then this is, of course, it depends on our ability to generalize the outcome. The more we can generalize, when we prepare for writing a thesis or a paper, actually what has been discovered and what are the conclusions from the data findings. I think I'll stop here and continue with you next time. Thank you.